my name is Keiko Yoshino. I'm the Executive Director for the Puerto Rico Blockchain Trade Association. This is our third annual conference, BIDL here. It's an invitation for everyone to come build an industry together. We're bringing government, we're bringing private industry, we're bringing students, universities, all together today.
This is the third event. How long has the association been founded?
We founded in June 1st, 2021, so we're about 36 months old.
And how would you describe the situation in terms of the blockchain industry, the crypto industry in Puerto Rico, and how have you seen it evolve during these years?
Absolutely. So 2021, it was a bull market when I first got into it. So there was a lot of excitement, a lot of meetups, a lot of people going out and about. And then the bear market happened in 2022 and 2023, and it's been really hard to recover. 24 at the end, it started to go back up, and more excitement. It goes with the bull market. There are people that are moving to Puerto Rico. Kraken is co-hosting our conference today because Puerto Rico is the 10th highest trading volume for that centralized exchange. They want to have a larger presence here, and we're trying to build bridges to the community and with banks, with students, with everyday people, about what crypto is and how accessible it is, because we really want to make it inclusive. It shouldn't be something that's just on the side for a few people.
You're on the Blockchain Association, so it's beyond just the crypto, but
Correct.
We relate it to crypto.
We do.
What else is going on with the technology? And is that, or is crypto your focus? What can you tell? So people that don't know.
Right,
basic.
Of course. Well, my background is in economic development. I was a lawyer in Washington, D.C. for 7 years before I moved here 4 years ago, fell in love with the island, and wanted to start over, essentially. And I'm passionate about helping Puerto Rico achieve those economic development goals. I think it's a beautiful island with beautiful people. And one of the core tenets of what I want Blockchain Trade Association to do is lead education on opportunities in this space. Web 2, with social media, Facebook, we haven't had our Facebook moment yet for Web 3, but it's coming. And we need to have the engineers ready. Why not Puerto Rican engineers? They're some of the best in the world. We graduate more Latino engineers in Puerto Rico than anywhere else in the United States. And so I'm working with universities to upskill the students so that they're prepared to join in this workforce. The tax incentive education PRBTA does is intentional, because we want everyone to understand that they don't have to leave Puerto Rico. They can stay, and that they can create their own opportunities in future. With entrepreneurship, the young entrepreneur incentive, for example, is under the age of 35, and they don't have to pay tax for the first $500,000 that they make. There's opportunities for everyone to participate in this, and the Blockchain Association, I just want to facilitate those conversations and bring the people together.
When you go around driving, I know you've seen it, the gringo go home, and
Sure.
the Law 60 that's very related to this industry has a lot to do with that. What do you say? What to the people that might that have that attitude because they're seeing?
Yes,
what's
of
going
course.
on? What's your position, and what would you say to those people?
I would say that there's bad actors everywhere. I'm not going to say that there isn't in Puerto Rico, but there is in every city. But I think the majority of the people here are choosing this way of life. I'm not an incentive holder. I was working in government. I just fell in love with the island, and my story is not unique. There's a lot of people like that want to come here and build, and would like to build with the government, with private Puerto Rican companies. And so I think there's a lot of misunderstanding around what the tax incentives are. There's 73 of them, 72 of which everyone is allowed to participate and use. So we're trying to myth bust some of the misinformation around that. But it's also like, how do they get access? Because filling out this form is really expensive. Like, what lawyers are going to walk them through it? How do they create their own operating agreements? Like, there's some very basic things that need to happen. And I'm working closely with lawyers and accountants so that we can provide an on-ramp for everyone to benefit from these tax incentives.
You had the Secretary of Economic Development here today. What would you like to see in terms of the new administration in Puerto Rico? I know that in the States, crypto is, President Trump has mentioned a lot.
Yes, he has.
What would you, in terms of, both, but locally, what would you like the government to take in terms of your industry? What can the government do to help you grow even more?
I think just continually promoting exactly what Secretary Negron said, which is Puerto Rico's open for business. It is a great place to build. There's a lot of talent here. We're building a talent pipeline. Crypto specifically, we introduced a bill a couple of years ago. It didn't get very far. It was an innovation sandbox. It was amending the Money Transmitter Act. But I think what government can do is exactly what the secretary said, which was make permitting easier, make government services easier so people can work with the government.
In terms of what Trump has announced, he announced something about capital gains and crypto. I was wondering if that's going to have any effect on, if it's going to be expanded to the 50 states, would Puerto Rico still have some edge? Or would you guys pack up and leave?
No, I live here full time. This is my home. I think that's great that President Trump is expanding it, but I think that there's more value than zero cap gains when you look at Puerto Rico. The wealth of diversity, the talent pipeline, and all the other 73 tax incentives that isn't limited to capital gains.
So for people that maybe don't know crypto that much, what they're announcing when we hear about the federal government moving more into crypto, new regulations were just launched today. Mm-hmm. We have to look into that. I haven't had the chance, obviously, to read it. But when you look at that, what can people expect? And there's a lot of fear in that, maybe, of people that don't know. What should people know? What are the myths around crypto?
The myths around crypto, there's so many, I don't even know where to start from. It's internet magic money and has no value, to it's for illicit funding and finance and does terrorist activity. The US dollar funds more terrorism activity than crypto does. But where we need to go is an education of the populace about how to engage in blockchain or trading crypto safely. What is the difference between a meme coin and a stable coin and a store value asset like Bitcoin? How should you invest?
Yeah, we see the president himself
launches
people lose $6 billion. How am I to trust this?
Exactly. And you wouldn't. It'd be like buying a speculative asset like a stock, right? But instead of being an accredited investor to get the really good deal, like, you don't have to be. Crypto is open. They don't care how much money's in your bank account. They don't care male or female. They don't care your minority status. They don't care your age, and they don't care, whether you have the knowledge or not. So engaging in something like crypto is the same risk of engaging in the stock market. You really shouldn't be putting money that you don't have in it. And again, there's no guarantee, just as the same with the stock. It's a volatile market, crypto very much so. So don't put in anything that you can't afford to lose.
So finally, what can we expect from the association for 2025? What are your priorities, and what's the future looking like for the Blockchain Association?
Of course. We're really excited today. We are publishing the Act 60 guidebook. It is on our website. It is in English and in Spanish. It's 180 pages. And it breaks down the incentives by, who's eligible, what do you need to do, how can you participate, and it's broken down into several chapters by industry. So we're really excited about that. And then we've been working with 9 partners on a federal grant for the digital equity, NTIA digital equity grant. We're trying to close the digital divide. So we're working with Puerto Rico Science Trust and Caras con Casa and Comprometidos. We're working with Leap Education, Centers de Art School, and University of Puerto Rico Maya West, University of Puerto Rico Law, and Ana Jiménez, doing specific projects on campus. We're going to teach the teachers so that they can then teach their students. We're going to have paid internships. We're going to provide technology in schools, 3D printers, Adobe illustrative licenses. We have Juan Salgado here today, and he went to the Centers de Art School, and he's like, I got my start, and I wouldn't be the artist I was without them. So, talk to that school, and they're like, we don't even have Adobe Illustrator licensing. I was like, how is that possible? So we added them to the grant. So the whole thing, it is very much a community effort. And the goals of Puerto Rico Blockchain Trade Association is to just be a partner and facilitate as much as we can of getting people with the resources that they need.